Hey people, today let's have a quick look at how to figure out, um, let's see, there's different ways to say it. Using a graphing calculator, what we're going to do is find out where two equations meet. Okay, this is often called the point of intersection. And if you remember from other units where we did graphing of a straight line, like the y equals mx plus b, where you have a slope and a y-intercept. Well, if you're familiar with that stuff, well, this is kind of the next step where you see where these equations come into play in real life. So without further ado, let's quickly check out this question here, and we're going to use the graphing calculator to solve it. Okay? The question says, Riverside Golf and Country Club runs a women's league in the summer. The cost to join is $300 plus $25 per round of golf played. South Shore Golf Course also offers a women's league. Their membership fee is $400, but they charge only $20 per round played. Okay, so what we're going to do is check out part A. That's the first question here. It says, write an equation to model the cost to join the women's league at Riverside. That's the first club. Let y represent the total cost, so y is going to be our total cost, and x represents the number of rounds played. Okay, let me get a pen here. And I'm just going to be writing with my mouse, so it may be a little bit messy. But anyway, let's look back up here. It says it's $300 to join, so you just pay that once. Okay, you just pay it once. The $25 you have to pay every time you play per round. Okay? So basically you're having to choose, does that $300 and the $25, do they go here or here? Okay, see where I'm pointing? All right. So basically what you do is you say, well, the $300 is being paid once at the start, and you only have to pay it once. So I'm writing with my mouse here. It's not as neat, but there it is. You're paying that once. That's like your starting point. The $25 per round, well, the 25 goes right here. And if you recall from linear relations, the 25, you could write 25 over 1, and that would be your slope. The rise would be 25, the run would be 1, and then you'd be able to draw a steep line, quite a steep line actually. That would have quite a steep slope, I guess, starting at the 300. I mean, if you were to draw a little graph of it, it would start at 300 and go, up in a straight line. All right, so $25 per round. So if you play one round, it's $25 times 1 plus 300. If you play 2 rounds, it'd be 25 times 2, which is 50, and then add 300, so that'd be 350. Okay, let's move to the next part. Write an equation to model the cost to join the women's league at South Shore. That's the second golf club here. Okay? Same rules as the last one. So we've got two numbers here. The membership fee there is $400, but they only charge $20 per round. Okay, so it's $400. I'm starting with that y-intercept right there, or our starting point. It's $400, and it is $20 per round. So this equation here is not going to be as steep as this one here, but it's going to start at 400 instead of 300. So if I was drawing it on my mini graph right up here, it would start at 400, but it wouldn't be as steep. So eventually these lines would cross, and today it's this point right there. See that little black dot? It's that point that we're looking for to find out where these two equations intersect. Okay, it's called the POI. Point of intersection. And how do you find that? Using a graphing calculator. Okay, this is where I'm going to bring in the graphing calculator. Ta-da, there it is. Let's turn it on. Okay, so you start, if you're looking at the graphing calculator, you still have it right here. Just hit y equals, and then what you're going to do is start off by typing in these two equations. The first one's 25x plus 300, and the next equation is 20x plus 400. Now if you push graph right now, you won't be able to see much. In fact, you won't be able to see anything. And so what you do is you have to change the window settings. So the window settings are right here if you look. Okay. Now remember, as we're doing the window settings, remember this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. And the reason why we're not seeing anything right now is because this only goes up to 10. We already know from this graph over here, see that? It's starting at like 300 right there, okay? It's starting at 300 right there. So go to the window and say, okay, the y minimum right here, just, I don't know, I guess we could make that 0. But the maximum, we want the maximum to be way higher than 300 because we want to see where these two lines meet. So make it really, really high. Make it much higher than 300. Let's say like 1,000. Okay, now as far as the x goes, the x is talking about it's right over here. Okay, and that's going to talk about the number of times that you play golf. Okay, over here is the cost. Okay, over here is the cost. And here's the number of times that you play golf. I'll draw a golf club. There's our golf club. Okay, so you could play 0 times, so the x minimum could be 0. But you could play a lot of golf in a year, so let's say you play like, I don't know, 50 times? I don't know. I'm just going to guess. So our window settings are all set up now. We should be, if we push graph, we should be able to see what's going on. Okay, now remember the graph that has, by the way, that's great, we can see it. The graph that has the steeper slope is the first line. That's the, what is it called? Riverside Golf and Country Club. And this graph here, slightly above, is the, what's the other one called? South Shore Golf and Country Club. We want to find where these two lines meet, and here's how you do it. You go second function, calc, and you want to choose number 5, which is intersect. Now the calculator is going to make some guesses as soon as you say yes to these two questions. First curve, well, it's not a curve, it's a line, but just say yes, just hit enter. Second curve, that's the other line, just hit enter for yes, and the calculator asks, do you want me to guess where the point of intersection is? Yes, please. Hit enter again. And there is the spot. Although it's hard to see, it's pointing right here. On a real graphing calculator, or on a graphing calculator that's bigger, you'd be able to see it better. But the important part here is the x is 20 and the y is 800. Let's write that down. The x is 20. This is where the point of intersection is. And the y is 800. Okay, so what does this represent? Well, let me help you out here. The 20 is the x line right here, and that represents how many times you're golfing. The 800 is talking about the y-axis, which is the money. So you could say it like this. If you golf 20 times, the price will be $800. Wow. But the deal is, it doesn't matter if you go to this golf course right here, the Riverside Golf Course, or the South Shore Golf Course. If you golf 20 times, you're looking at $800 for either this course or this course. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, and this is like a real life question, what if you only golf 10 times per year? Which course would you rather go to? What if you only golf 10 times per year? Would you rather go to the Riverside Golf Course or the South Shore? Well, remember, the course that starts at 300, anywhere between here and here is going to be cheaper at this course right here because it's starting at $300. So if you golf 10 times per year, you're going to want to go to the Riverside Golf Course, okay? And you could even check what the price would be just by typing in a 10 right there where the x is. So 25 times 10 plus 300, and you could figure out that. But the basic question is, which golf course would you go if you golfed only 10 times? I would go to the Riverside Golf Course. But if I golfed 20 times, it wouldn't matter where I go. They're the same price. But if I golfed 21 times or 22 times or more, I would want to go to the south side golf course. If I was golfing a lot each year, and chances are most people golf more than 20 times per year if they have a membership somewhere. So it looks like the south side golf, or sorry, the South Shore golf course is the better deal here. Okay? So one more time, you start out by just typing in the Y1 and the Y2. So the two lines, they're straight lines. You push graph. If you don't see what you're looking for, make the window settings so that you can see them. And if you really have trouble with window settings, here's a cool hint. You can hit zoom, and zoom fit, I believe, is at the very bottom. You can go to zoom fit, and it'll give you something, close to the answer you're looking for, or close to the graph you're looking for. It just might not be as good as your own personalized window settings, okay? And once you hit graph and you can see the point where they touch, then you go second function, trace, and then go to number 5, intersect, and then hit enter 3 times and you're done. Okay? Try it out yourself. Use this with any question where they ask you to solve linear systems, and this graphing calculator will be your best friend.